Hi guys, I hope it's going well. I hope it's going well? What was that? I feel like I always start these videos with, hi guys, hope you're all okay, and it sounds really insincere because I always say it the same way, but I genuinely can't think of another way to say, how are you? This video is going to be more of a chatty video. I've got a cup of tea in my G mug, G for Gemma, and also because I am a G. And I know I do a lot of edited videos as well on this channel, which I really enjoy doing. I love doing those kinds of videos, they're so much fun to make, but I also love doing these chatty, laid back, longer form videos. I feel like on YouTube it's such a negative thing to do a video over 5 minutes. People are like, oh my god, it's so long, get to the point, shut up, you talk too much, and it makes me miss the old days of YouTube where people would just sit and have a chat. And I think it's a lot more, I know people are busy, but it's a lot more natural and a lot, I can actually say what I want to say and say everything that I want to say, because when you just include a little soundbite in a video, there's so much interpretation that people can have, and I feel like, oh no, that's not what I meant, and I like to talk as well, and I've got a piece of hair here. So today I thought I would also update you on my veganism and how that has been going, whether or not I'm still vegan. I am. But I thought I'd just update you on that and have a proper chat about it, because I wrote a chatty blog post which some of you might see. My website is below for those of you who are not reading it on a regular basis. Then I would really appreciate it if you checked it out, because there are recipes on there, not that many vegan ones at the moment, because obviously I'm new to veganism, and from now on, like pretty much, well yeah, from now on all my recipes are going to be vegan, so there will be a lot more to come on there, which is good. And yeah, there's just some longer posts and chatty ones, and I talk about makeup and beauty and travel and days out and my home and all that kind of thing, so I'll leave that link below. It's hard sometimes because I forget who is watching where, and I might post something on Instagram and maybe, or I'll talk about it on my other channel, and perhaps you're only subscribed to one, or maybe you're subscribed to all. Maybe you follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest, and some of you only follow me on one, and so you can feel like you've said something but you haven't really communicated it to everyone across all platforms. And if you do like really keep saying it, then people are like, oh god, we get it, okay, you've gone vegan. So it's like a hard balance to strike, and I never know what the right balance is, and sometimes I think I err on the side of caution and I assume that everybody knows everything about my life, and you guys really don't know that much about my life at all. So I am still vegan, and the V word, I was so hesitant to use the V word for the longest time. I want to talk a little bit about the vegan community online, and I say that in inverted commas. I guess now I am part of the vegan community online, but I want to talk about that a little bit, because things really get on my nerves sometimes, and I want to just chat about it, because I feel like there is sometimes only one representation of a certain group of people online, and it's great to have diversity because people by nature are really diverse and everybody sees things differently. Vegans have a really militant reputation compared to vegetarians. If you instantly, like, you say to someone like, I'm vegan, and they're like, oh, and they expect, not all people are like this. A lot of people are really open-minded, but people accept vegetarianism a lot more than veganism, and they think that you are ready for a fight with them, when really you just don't want to talk about what you eat and what you don't eat, like, again for the millionth time that week. So it couldn't be further from the truth for most people, and the majority of vegans that I know are not militant. They couldn't really give a damn what everybody else is eating. They just do their thing, and they really just don't want to talk about it that much. So I think that especially online and on YouTube, you know, clickbaity titles and dramatic titles and argumentative videos, like, that's what gets the clicks. That's what will earn people a lot of money, and it's the same goes for every genre of online video. You know, if you make like those story time videos, it's like the time I was nearly kidnapped, and some guy just looked at you weird in the supermarket. Do you know what I mean? Like, every single genre of online video has that kind of really extreme personalities, and those are the people that end up making a lot of money, and I am not one of those people because I'm much more like in the centre of things, I guess. Like, I like to look at things from both perspectives, and if I wanted to like make videos like that, I'm sure I could make a lot of money doing those kinds of videos and get a lot of subscribers, but as a person I just don't want to deal with the crap that comes along with that, and I don't want to be someone that I'm not in a video like that. I'm much more boring than that. There are a lot of people that think that those people are better advocates for veganism because they really get the message out there, and they use shock tactics and whatever it takes, like they want to spread the message to as many people as possible, and I can see that point of view, and that's fine. There's also like so much that goes along with telling people you're vegan. For example, if I just ate like a McDonald's every Friday night, or Indian takeaway, Chinese takeaway, and I just ate a normal diet, like nobody ever comments on what you eat. Like if you just work in an office and you take your lunch to work every day and you've got a ham sandwich on white bread and a packet of crisps, a yogurt, maybe a piece of fruit, nobody gives a shit what you eat. Like really, everyone's just like, you're normal, you're balanced. And if you say like I'm vegan, all of a sudden everyone's like, well, where are you going to get your nutrients? Like nobody's asking the person with the white bread ham sandwich where they're getting you know, all of their vitamins and minerals. They're probably not getting it. Like the majority of us are probably not getting everything that we need, but the minute that you say that you're vegan, like everybody has an opinion on what you eat, everyone has an opinion on, you know, your portion size, everyone has an opinion on everything, and it's funny. So like sometimes I'm just a bit hesitant. Also a lot of people see veganism as a total lifestyle, which it is. I guess like you could say I'm plant-based, and you could say I'm vegan, and vegan would be someone who is more for the ethical reasons, plant-based kind of is more for health reasons, I guess. But who knows like what these definitions should mean. And I use vegan hashtags because I am aiming towards a more ethical lifestyle in all senses, and like that is my ultimate goal. It doesn't mean that I'm 100% there yet, doesn't mean that I do everything perfectly. I probably never ever will. And yeah, I use that hashtag because a lot of, when I post recipes and things like that, because a lot of people will search for that over plant-based, because plant-based, a lot of people who eat like chicken and fish call their diet plant-based because they eat mostly plants. So it's really difficult. Like the vegan police and the food police in general, like it's not just limited to vegans, like people are just so opinionated when it comes to things like that you're posting. And that definitely comes with posting things online, so it's just one of those things. And you just have to accept it. Like I get so much enjoyment from making these videos, I get a lot of interaction on this channel, and like I like the people that are subscribed to this channel a lot, and like I get so much from posting these videos, so you just have to accept that, and that's fine. But I'm always a bit like, but now I guess I am actually calling myself a vegan, like I'm actually saying it. And it's strange because like 7 or 8 months ago I would never ever have thought that I would go vegan. It's weird, isn't it, how life happens like that. But I went vegetarian overnight as a child when I was 10. I do have a video, if you're new to this channel, if you're relatively new to this channel, then I have a video, which it's so funny, like I'm fully anticipating the comments on this video are going to be absolutely hilarious. The vegetarian video that I did is legitimately the most vanilla vegetarian video that you could possibly have. Like I'm just very sort of in that video, I'm like, you know, this is why I chose to be vegetarian, but I totally respect everybody's diets and you do what's right for you. And it's just like the most vanilla, bland vegetarian video. I'm not opinionated in that video or like lecturing people, and it's hilarious because the comments on it that people leave, they're like, go and eat a steak, you miserable bitch, and like, you need to eat some meat, and I've got some meat for you. I'm watching this while eating a nice piece of meat dripping with pain, and I'm like, okay, so bloody hell, can't wait to see the comments on this now that I'm vegan. But yeah, it's been, when was it? It was March, so 5 months, nearly 6 months since I turned vegan. I'm feeling really good. I wouldn't say that my life has dramatically changed. You know, a lot of videos that you see online, it's like, go vegan and you can, all of a sudden, like, you'll never have acne, you'll never get ill, you'll be able to run to the moon. You know, it doesn't work like that, and I feel good though. I feel really good. I feel not really an insane amount different than I did before, because I definitely still need to do more exercise, and that is something that I'm working on. And I do still eat, you know, like pizza and pasta and chocolate and crisps, and you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I've gone from eating vegetarian to just all of a sudden only eating lettuce leaves. So I'm not going to feel that much different, but I feel good in myself, and I'm really happy with the decision that I've made, and I haven't eaten anything that wasn't vegan. Like, I told myself in the beginning, like, I'm going to aim to cut out dairy, and maybe I'll still eat eggs, and I haven't eaten any eggs, I haven't eaten any dairy, haven't eaten anything with those ingredients in. Like, it's been really easy, and I've stuck to it, like, totally. It's really weird because, like, when I went vegetarian, I was 10 years old, you know, and a lot of people say, like, oh, but you must have had it a couple of times over the years, and I'm like, no, I have never eaten meat since the moment that sentence came out of my mouth. I've never eaten meat. And the same thing with going vegan. Since I said that I was going to do it, I haven't eaten a thing. I've been checking everything religiously. The only thing is, a lot of people commented on Twitter and Instagram and stuff about the alcohol that I was drinking. It's really difficult. Like, from now on, and from, like, within the first week, I made an effort to make sure that the alcohol was listed as being vegan, because when you drink certain alcohol, you can use some animal products in the distilling process. And at first I was like, it's hard because bone char is used to make a lot of mass-produced white sugar. So technically most of the things that you eat, even the ones labelled vegan, are not 100% vegan, and it's I mean, like, you can get into the minutiae of it, and I don't really get into that, but I check all ingredients and things. So yeah, I haven't strayed from it, and I actually went on holiday. I've been on how many trips now as a vegan? I've been on 3 trips as a vegan. One of them was a work trip to Berlin, and I was with a group of people, and everything was organised for us, so it was quite difficult for me to eat a good solid meal with everybody else, because we went to, like, German beer houses where there were no vegetarian options, let alone vegan, so I just ate, like, fries, and then I went to other places, like restaurants, where they just brought me, like, a bowl of lettuce leaves and stuff, and it was fine because later on, you know, I went back to the hotel and got a pizza with no cheese on it, and, like, explained to the people in the hotel, and they got me food. Berlin is actually, like, an amazing place to go as a vegan, and my friend Josie lives in Berlin, and I caught up with her just before I flew home. I didn't have that much free time, so I only got to catch up with her for a little bit before I went home, and she took me to this Mexican place that had, like, 3 vegan options, I think. It was really good, this burrito place, and I got the most amazing burrito, and I want to eat it now. I'm salivating thinking about it. I was so hungover and I couldn't finish it. I had to give the rest to Josie, and as soon as I got to the airport, I was like, oh man, I really want to eat that, and it was too late. It was too late. Veganism in Berlin is, like, really easy if you go to the right places. It's just that because I was with a group, we weren't going to those places, so I definitely need to go back to Berlin and eat my way around Berlin, basically. I also went to the Lake District with my parents, and that was easy because we cooked the majority of our meals ourselves, although we tried to book a family meal, and because we had the dog with us, we wanted to find, like, a pet friendly pub that was also would make something vegan and, like, had traditional English meals for my mum and dad and my nana, and this pub was like, no, we won't make anything. I was like, oh, could you just make a salad, or like they had a pasta dish, and I was like, could you just take the cheese out? They were like, no, which was interesting. So we ate at home instead, and that was fine. We made a nice meal. It was good. And then I've also been on a cruise, which, if anyone's been on a cruise, it's basically like a celebration of food and a celebration of standard American diet, really, I would say. So that was interesting, and I was told before I went that I was kind of led to believe that it would be a lot easier, and then I just had to go and meet with someone on the ship and then everything would be sorted. It didn't quite work out that way, so I had to do a bit of, like, MacGyvering of meals, but in the end it worked out really well, and I'm considering doing a blog post about that. I don't know if anybody will be interested. We went with Royal Caribbean, and just like an honest reflection, I took some sneaky pictures in the dining room on my phone of the meals that I was eating. So I might do a blog post on that. I don't think it's something that, like, you know, how to be vegan on a Royal Caribbean cruise. I don't think it's something that everybody will be like totally interested in that reads my blog. But I know when I was researching it, I was looking for blog posts like that. So maybe for people Googling, it would be interesting. I don't know. Everybody was eating these lavish desserts like cheesecakes and lemon meringue pie and like chocolate tarts and custard and apple crumble, and they would just most of the time bring me like a bowl of raspberries or blueberries or something as my dessert. One night I got non-dairy ice cream. It was like mango, frozen like mango dessert, and I was like, oh. So when I got home I had this real hankering for chocolate and desserts because I'd watched everybody else eat these desserts. So I had some ice cream when I got back and some apple crumble and soy custard, chocolate, and it was all good. So I have been sort of trying to move everything else over in my life, and I've had a little bit of backlash from people on mostly personal, like people email me and be like, this isn't a very vegan thing to do, or this isn't a very vegan thing to do, and you're using this cosmetic brand and it tests on animals. And that's the part of the vegan community that I don't feel like it's actually very effective in terms of trying to really talk about issues. I am not a perfect person. I am really not a perfect person at all, and yes, on my blog I have been using makeup brands that retail in China and therefore have to participate in Chinese animal testing, and some people might think that is really hypocritical. I think it's really hypocritical. I totally agree with you, because I am not a perfect person. I'm really not. And it's really interesting because I'm moving away from that. Like I am actually from now on trying to make sure that everything on my blog is cruelty free and the brand doesn't retail in China, and that's a decision that I've made. I cleared out my makeup. This isn't even all of the makeup that I'm giving away. I've got a very happy cousin right now, and my mum and my nana and Matt's family. Like, I've saved all this makeup and I'm packaging it up into little parcels for people who will appreciate it and use it. And I've been reaching out to a lot of cruelty-free brands to keep me updated when they've got new product launches and things like that, because that is something that I definitely want to move towards. And getting rid of all that makeup, it was kind of like, wow, there's so much in here that is tested on animals, and that's definitely the next thing that I'm really committed to trying to change. But I'm not perfect, and I don't pretend to be perfect, and I definitely know that some of the things that I do, some of the things that everybody does, like a lot of the people that were criticising me for using non-cruelty free makeup were not actually vegetarian or vegan themselves. Like, I'd click through on their Instagram or on their Twitter and they'd have like pepperoni pizza and a big rack of ribs, and I'm like, oh man, like he without sin cast the first stone. That's kind of my mentality, and because I am not perfect and there are always things that I can improve, I don't like to give other people a hard time. I'm not saying that like we should all just pretend everybody's perfect and not address these things, definitely, but there is a way to address it. If someone had asked me like, oh, since you've gone vegan, are you planning to use cruelty-free makeup? Let's have a conversation about that. That's an amazing conversation to have. But, well, that's not very vegan of you. Coming from a meat eater, I'm like, I feel like that's how a lot of the veganism on YouTube is. It's all very, look at me, I am the epitome of everything good, and you are a dirty meat eater and you need to improve yourself and become vegan like me. That's how a lot of the vegan videos on YouTube are, and it's so sad because I don't know, I just don't feel like it's really that effective. I don't think it's good in the long term, because if you go up to someone on the street and say like, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, the only thing they want to do is turn around and walk away from you. Obviously, in an ideal world, I would love it if everybody was vegan. I would love it. But the best advertisement for that is being happy. Like, being happy, living a really good life, making people aware in a responsible way. Like, people need to know about the things that are going on in the world. They do. But there's a way to do it without being an arsehole, basically. Just gonna say it. it's hard as well because I'd love to hear your thoughts on this actually. It's difficult when it comes to like handbags and shoes. I have some leather handbags from a few years ago. I haven't bought a leather handbag in a long time, or leather shoes for that matter, and the majority for the last few years really I've been buying you know, man-made fabric bags and shoes, and I've also got a few actually vegan and eco-friendly handbags from Matt and Nat, which is a brand that I really like. But here's my dilemma, and I'd love to know what you guys think about this. So I don't plan on throwing away anything that I've got in terms of handbags and shoes. It's different from my blog because my blog, and I'm like sort of promoting brands. If I put their makeup products on my blog, I am sort of promoting them. So when I'm talking about going cruelty free, I am, like I said, trying to feature only brands that are cruelty free from now on, because I'm sort of giving them a platform. And there are, I would say, about 15 items that I've kept makeup that isn't cruelty free because I just won't repurchase it, and I don't think those items in particular are sanitary to give away to other people, so it would just get thrown in the bin, and that is wasteful. So with my makeup there are some non-cruelty free items that I've already got or that have been sent to me that I'm going to continue to use up just so they don't get wasted, but I won't be putting them on the blog. With shoes and handbags, I'm just going to use things until they wear out, and I don't put that stuff really on my blog anyway, so I'm just going to like use them up and not repurchase leather goods. But this is my main dilemma. I think that like being an ethical consumer, you should look at everything. Like, it's not just about animals, it's about human beings as well. And there are so many issues with sweatshops and slave labour in everything, from like the coffee and the tea that we buy, the chocolate that we buy, and the clothing that we buy as well. And a lot of mass-produced clothing tends to be vegan friendly because it's cheaper. So if I want a pair of boots or a pair of heels or whatever that are vegan, I'll go to H&M, Forever 21, places like that, and you'll find like inexpensive vegan friendly shoes. However, they're mass produced, maybe not under the best conditions, and therefore I'm sort of harming humans. Whereas if I go to boutique companies or smaller companies, they usually tend to be leather, and I don't really know how I feel about that. There are a lot of vegan shoe brands and handbag brands popping up as well, which is great, and I don't always like the designs on them, in all honesty. So maybe I just need to find better brands. I don't know what the answer is to that. It's one of those things, isn't it? Like, things are grey, they're not always black and white, and people will be like, well, just go vegan, don't do that. And then you've got to look at sort of how the garments are produced and things like that. And in that situation, it's not always black and white. So I don't know, I'd love to know your thoughts on that. I've had a few questions about Matt. So a lot of people were asking about Matt, what he eats. Matt is not vegetarian, and he's not vegan. It's really not a big deal at all, to me at least, and I don't think it's a big deal to Matt. And it's funny because I've gone to a few vegan fairs and vegan conventions and stuff since I turned vegan, just to see what's out there and like find new products and stuff. And a lot of people say to me, is your boyfriend vegan? Is your partner vegan? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, I'm really lucky because my boyfriend's vegan, and my boyfriend's been vegan for so long, and my boyfriend doesn't buy any animal products. And I'm like, I get it. But Matt is his own person. Like, he's totally his own person, and the last thing in a million years that I want, it's like not a competition, you know, like who's got the most vegan boyfriend and stuff. And on, I would say 99.999 things, Matt and I have, we share the same opinion on the vast majority of things, from the death penalty to, you know, like politics, and we share very, very, very similar opinions on so many things. And animal welfare is one of them. Like, Matt has watched Earthlings, he's watched other things, and he agrees with me. I don't think Matt always makes the connection when it comes to food, because I mean, like, I've grown up from being 10 not eating any meat, whereas Matt's had longer in his life where he's made associations with certain foods and his taste buds have got used to certain foods, and I totally appreciate that. We used to buy meat and we don't really buy meat that much anymore. But like for example, at the weekend we had a Chinese takeaway at my nana's house, and I had tofu, Matt had beef. And if we go out to a restaurant, he'll probably have meat, but we don't buy any meat in the house. So, you know, I would say 95% of the time he eats vegetarian and the majority vegan. But I am not going to tell Matt what I think he should eat when we go out, or make him feel like he has to do a certain thing. If he chooses to eat that way forever and ever and ever, then that's one thing. And if he chooses to be vegetarian or whatever, like that's his choice, and I am not going to sit here and tell him what he should do, because I just don't think that makes for a healthy relationship. I wouldn't want him telling me what I should eat and what I should do. And like I said, 95% of the time he eats vegan or vegetarian. It means that I do most of the cooking, but I don't mind that really. And I think like, people are always like, I'm so lucky to have a vegan boyfriend. Like, you're just lucky to have someone who appreciates you and loves you, and like Matt's lucky to have me, I'm lucky to have him. We're lucky that we're in a nice relationship. He's really understanding of where I'm coming from, I'm understanding of where he's coming from. It is what it is. People always say to me like, what about when you have a child, what will you do? And oh god knows, like I don't even know like what other parenting styles I would have. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's having a child is, I don't know. I haven't even thought about that yet, because you cross that bridge when you come. I don't know what I'm having for dinner tonight, so you know, take it as it comes. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing some more produced videos, like recipes. I want to find a style that I really like of shooting my recipe videos so they all look the same, because all my recipe videos look different and it really bothers me. So I want to find a specific style that I really like. I'm going to be doing more dorm room dishes as well. I filmed a whole bunch of them, and then I had a few issues with my YouTube network, which is another issue. And then I went vegan, and a lot of the videos had cheese and eggs and things like that in them. So I'm reshooting some dorm room dishes ones, and that will be coming back. And I'm going to be doing more cooking videos and more what I eat in a day videos. If you like those more, a lot of people seem to like those, but I know you like the recipes as well. And like I said, I'm trying to find a style and a filming location that I really like for my recipe videos, so they all look uniform. Let me know if you like the snappy videos with a voiceover or without a voiceover, or if you like me being in the recipe videos, actually cooking it in front of you, talking through it. Let me know what kind of video you would like, because I can never make my mind up which kind I like the best. Maddie's here if you want to see her. She's grown so much. This is Maddie, look how grown up she is. She's just been asleep, so she's a bit tired. You need a bath. And she's with me all day. Like, she sits up here with me while I work, and she just does not like being away from me. We love each other, don't we, Maddie? Yes. Say bye. Bye bye. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know some of you like these chattier videos. It was nice to catch up, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.